Hello, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randy4short, or Randy4short, and in today's video, it's going to be a long one. I'm going to let you guys know right now because I am going to be doing my January 2022 budget from start to finish. And what I mean is I'm going to be doing my monthly budget, my weekly breakdown, my expense tracker number 1 and my expense tracker number 2 setup. So, and I'm going to be doing digital cash envelope stuffing in this video. So this is my first time doing everything from start to finish on camera. I usually break it up into multiple videos so you guys aren't sitting here for a long time. So, but this year I want to try to mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to put everything into one video so that it leaves me room to make more content, more like different kinds of content for the rest of the month. So I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm going to try and cut out as much as I can in order to keep it, I hope, under an hour for you guys. So let's just get started. So here is my monthly calendar. And I pre-wrote everything, well, not every single thing, but the majority of it so that the video could go longer. Oh, I do need my calculadora. Okay, so let's get started. I did do my annual budget, so I do know my numbers ahead of time. So that should help, but we shall see. So estimated income is going to be $5,600 for the month, and then business expenses is $144.98 for a total of $5,744.98. Okay, and no savings still. So I'm going to bring down the income total as $5,744.98. Okay, so now for the expenses, the mortgage is $1,864.66. Vivint, which is our home security, is $56.47. Water and trash, I am estimating to be $130 this month. Since it's cold right now, you know, everything is a little bit higher, especially natural gas. Electric is going to be $15. Natural gas is going to be, you know what? I need to make a quick adjustment to my numbers. Okay, so I made that quick adjustment because natural gas, like I said, is going to be higher. So I originally had $45 as my budgeted amount, but I'm going to put 110 because I think this current month it's 107 if I'm not mistaken. But my husband's life insurance is $71.55. My life insurance is $57.64. And sorry if you hear the twins in the back. My mom is over watching them for me while I do this video. So yeah, they're in good hands. They just, you know, there's 3 of them because my toddler's here as well, and it's only one of her. So we got to make this video quick because well, as quick as possible. MetLife did go down. It renewed in December and it went from like 330 something to 309. Frontier is 67.86, and then Verizon is 123. ID theft is $12.90. Netflix is $13.99. Childcare for our toddler is $1,140. Amazon Kids Plus is $2.99, which is the program on our son's tablet. So let's add that up really quick. Okay, so that total is $3,975.6. So the remaining is $1,769.92. Okay, so let's keep going since we still have money. Gas, we are budgeting $360 for the month, and then groceries is $160 for the month. Costco is $350 for the month, and then diapers is $40. I can tell you right now when I get to expense tracker number 1, because that one is for January 1st through January 15th, and it's already like halfway through that expense tracker period. I've already spent all of my Costco money. I'm actually over my Costco money, and I spent a little bit of my grocery money at Costco, but it was well worth it. Because I did stock up on some of the Kirkland brand wipes because they were on sale this month. I think they were like $4 off. So it was a limit of 3. So I picked up 3 boxes. So that put me over my diapers budget, but as well as my Costco budget. But I mean, hey, because I think each box was down to $12 to $15, something like that. I think it was $15 actually, because they're normally $19.99. So yeah, I went over budget, but it was well worth it because with twins, I need as many diapers as possible. And we're still, like our son is potty trained for the most part, but I still like to wipe him myself. I don't fully trust him to wipe him by himself because, baby, I don't have time to be extending my laundry time by trying to get skid marks out of the little boy's drawers. So, yeah. Let's keep on going. So that cash envelopes, that total is $910. Subtract that from the remaining from before is $859.92. Okay, so we still got money. Let's keep on going. Car loan is $256.29. We do have a new debt. So really quickly, the situation is my labor and delivery bill came in, but I only got the one for me. I haven't gotten it for the twins yet. So I'm waiting to see what the total bill is going to be before I pay it off, because I have the money to pay off my portion. Like I have the money to pay off all of our portions. It's just that I want to see what the twins labor and delivery bill is going to be before I put down like a whole big old chunk of money. That's just the way I like to handle big bills. So my portion of the labor and delivery hospital bill is on a payment plan. So it's going to be paid in full in May. And the total for mine, I think, was about $1,500. So if I'm not mistaken, I think the total bill for me and my son, our firstborn, was around $3,000. So I'm expecting another $3,000 for the twins delivery plus my $15,000. So I'm expecting like a $4,500 to $5,000 total for the labor and delivery bill. And yes, we do have insurance. That $5,000 or whatever it ends up being is just basically co-insurance, so the portion that we have to pay for, because I think the bill in total without insurance was like $25,000. Ridiculous. Tell you, the healthcare system in the United States of America is ridiculous. All right, so so I have it set up as a payment plan. So the total payment due every month is $287.70. But I already had some money left from my Cube medical, like my medical Cube on Cube Money. So I think I had about like $820 in my Cube medical still. So I am going to basically use that to pay the monthly payment until I see what the twins bill is going to be. So for right now, you know, the total for me is like $1,400 something. And then I have $800 right now sitting in my account before I need to transfer more to pay it off. So the difference is about $600 or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread that $600 out over the 5 months that I have my payment plan set up. So that way I'm not having to transfer the money, that like remaining $600 over to my Q Money account until I know how much in total the bill is going to be. So I mean, it's not a big deal to do it, but I don't know. I'm just being lazy, if I'm being honest. So spread out over 5 months, we are going to save up $126 every month to pay my portion of the medical bill. And that total is going to be for debt 382.29. So, I mean, some would argue that that's not debt because we have money to pay it off, but it's debt because we still owe it. Like if we were to go bankrupt and then our medical bill is due and we can't pay it, that's technically debt, even though we can't pay it in full if we wanted to. But anyways, 382.29 minus the remaining of 859.92 is 477.63. Okay, down to sinking funds. So this first line, sinking funds, is where I am going to dump any money that's remaining from this budget. So I'm going to skip that line right now, and then I'm going to back into it. So for right now, clothing, we are doing $100. So I'm not funding all of my sinking funds just because it's going to take more money than what I'm budgeting for this month to fund it. So I like to budget the minimum amount of money that I think we'll receive. So just in case we receive even lower than that, we'll be okay. So, clothing, I put it in this sinking fund, or I am funding that sinking fund because we are updating my husband's wardrobe, and I will be going back to work in March. So I think I'm going to pick up a couple of black slacks for work, some new ones, because mine are kind of like faded or whatever. And plus, I'm pretty much back down to like, I don't know how much I weigh, but I can fit into my old clothes. So, or like my clothes before pregnancy. So, but I haven't tried fitting into my work clothes yet. So, and I'm not going to probably until March. So at that point, I'll probably figure out if I actually need to go and get some new pants or not, or I'm going to get some regardless. What am I saying? I'm going to get some regardless because mine are faded, but I don't know if I need to go up a size is what I'm trying to say. And then with the twins, of course, we have to get clothes for them because yeah. Even though we do have some like for every single size, I still want to have some money on hand just in case we need to buy them more clothes. So let's see. So the next sinking fund that we're funding is Friendsmas. So I'm getting started pretty early on Christmas this year because last year I don't think I saved up at all for Christmas. And what I'm going to do this time around is my family, my in-laws, like all of us, we decided that we're going to do a Friendsmas amongst the cousins. So like the kids. So instead of buying like each family buying a present for each kid in the family, we're just going to do like a Secret Santa amongst the kids. And then we're going to do a white elephant amongst the adults. So that should cut it down. Like that should cut down our expenses pretty drastically. So this past Christmas, the limit on the white elephant was $25. So I'm assuming that it's going to be $25 for the Friendsmas as well, because it's the same. It's my sister-in-law that's going to be putting it together. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing for the kids. So with each one of us, there's 5 in our family now. So I'm thinking that we're each going to have to bring a gift to exchange. So 25 times 5. And that's going to be enough for the year. So how I'm going to break it down is I'm going to break it down and save $30 each month to save up for Friendsmas. And then for Christmas, I'm using the child care tax credit thing. I haven't spent any of it yet for my son. The twins, we are going to get all of that on our taxes because I didn't update our tax information with the IRS to let them know that like, hey, we need monthly payments for our twins that we're expecting in October. So I just let that go, and then we'll get the full amount for the twins in whenever we file taxes. But I do have the monthly amount, what is it, 1,800 for our son, and then we'll get the other half on our taxes as well. So what I decided to do is basically hold that money for each child so that we'll use it for whatever for them. So so for like their birthdays, Christmas, Friendsmas, like for having our toddler participate in class activities, all that kind of good stuff. So that's what I'm going to use it for. So this Christmas sinking fund, I'm only going to save up $200 total, and that's for my husband and I to have $100 budget each in order to exchange gifts on Christmas. So everything else will be taken care of, like I said, by the child care tax thingy thing for our children. So for the amount, like I said, Friendsmas is going to be 30, and then Christmas is going to be 50. And I'm going to do this over the next couple of months so that I can knock this out early and I don't have to worry about it later on in the year. So what is this? So this total is going to be 180. So I'm not going to write it in just yet because I still have to do the sinking funds. So calculator, and it turned off and everything. 477.63 minus 180 is 297.63. So let's keep on going. I did add in this line because I am using the actual drill down budget planner that I'm going to offer to you guys eventually. But if you've been following me, this template is pretty much the same. I made very minor very minor changes in one of these, and this is being one of them, where I put basically the sinking funds remaining is this first line, where you can go ahead and copy this remaining from the sinking funds over to right here as the first line, so you don't have to flip back and forth like you've seen me do throughout my previous videos. But I'm still going to have to flip back and forth because I have to back into the sinking funds number. So yeah. Okay, so daycare fee is $100. That is an annual fee for my son's daycare that they charge us. I am expecting to go to a baby shower later on in like the summer sometime, but again, I want to knock that out as early as possible. So the baby shower, we are putting aside $25 for this month, and then on to my business expenses. It is the same expenses that I usually have: $9.99 for iCloud, $19.99 for Adobe Cloud, $15 for Epidemic Sound. And then I did add one line for planner supplies because I don't know what it was, but Q4, I went crazy with the shopping. Like as soon as my twins came, I just went shopping, not for them, but like I've been like not really spending. I've been like really frugal in not buying stuff until our family was complete. Like I've been trying to like save as much money as possible so that when our medical bill would come, we could pay it off in full. So knowing that we have the money set aside to pay off our medical bill, like I've just been getting the things that I've been wanting, like the stuff that's like, I got Amazon list upon Amazon list. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But everything that I'm buying is like basically to help me keep the house clean and just like clean up faster. Like you see a few new things in my office. Like it's all, I won't say it's all necessities because that would be a lie, but most of it was necessities and a good chunk of it was wants. So, but all that to say, Q4, I was just buying like all the planner supplies that I wanted, but I didn't go crazy like like 2017 happy planner days. I, just got everything that I wanted as far as like washi tape and just supported shops that I wanted to. And basically it was mostly things spent to redecorate my office. And even looking around, that even wasn't a lot because most of the stuff that I'm using to decorate my office, I already had. So the majority of the stuff that I bought was basically to decorate the house. So we are doing window treatments right now. Like, we've had like paper shades for like the last 3 years because decorating the house has been the last thing on my to-do list. It kills me. It has been killing me. But just keeping in mind what our family goals were, it just didn't make sense to spend money to furnish. Well, I wouldn't say furnish. Like, we had furniture from the condo, but seeing as this house is like damn near 3 times the size of our condo, like it takes, of course, more furniture to furnish this place. But the furniture that we had basically was okay. So, and plus with me going on like a minimalist type of kick, I didn't want a lot of furniture anyway. So what we had was sufficient. I just needed a couple of pieces here and there. But for sure, we needed to do our window treatments because my husband, I'm pretty sure, hated the paper blinds, but they were efficient because I wanted wood blinds originally. But once I like really sat down and thought about it, this is not our forever home for sure. So it didn't make sense to me to put in wood shutters. So we went and we kind of like compromised and got curtains, which aren't bad at all. So I'm trying to decide on what the heck to put in my office. Because it's a whole thing. Like, y'all have to follow me on Instagram to get the situation on this window. Cause, oh baby, I'm going through it. I need some curtains ASAP in my office, but anyway, all of that to say, I'm putting myself on a planner supplies budget so that come Q4 in like the fall time, I am not going crazy because I noticed that basically all of the stuff that I like comes out later in the year. So I'm like thinking I'm doing good by not really buying anything in the first half of the year, and then fall comes, I'm just like ninja fingering all over all of these releases, and we're not doing that in 2022. We need to get it under control. But all that to say, I am budgeting $100 for planner supplies every month as much as possible. So that will be sorely tested because it is going to be Valentine's Day releases soon. And y'all know Simply Gilded go off on Valentine's Day. And I'm also trying to pick up more Cookie Sticker Co. And she be going, ugh. Ooh, between them two alone be hurting my pockets. But I'm trying to like also pick up Rose Colored Days. And I got my eye on this Black owned shop for stickers, like decorative stickers. So I'm gonna see what they come out with for Valentine's Day. And I'm gonna keep you guys posted with hauls and stuff. But definitely follow me on Instagram because you'll see it first over there versus over here. So all that chitter chatter for me to go ahead and add up what this amount is. So, okay, so $269.98 minus $297.63 that we had before is $27.65. So that is what's going to be put directly into the sinking funds. Because that's what's left over for this budget. So let's go ahead and add $27.65 to, what is that, 180? Yeah. So that's $207.65 for the sinking funds total. So $207.65 from this remaining of $477.63 is $269.98. Okay, so we're going to carry it over. Now we're going to use this sinking funds remaining line, and it's $269.98. $98. And then of course the planned expenses total is $269.98, which leaves us with a zero remaining balance for the month, which is what I wanted because I am doing a zero-based budget in my drill down budget planner. So all right, so just to make sure that my numbers are correct, I'm gonna go ahead and do the budget summary, and I want my budget total to be zero. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, so that budget total is zero. Okie dokie, so that's what I wanted. So let's go ahead and move on to the weekly breakdown portion of this video. And I'm going to do that by going ahead and writing all of these monthly bills into either column number 1 or column number 2, because column number 1 designates it as an expense that needs to be paid in my expense tracker number 1, and of course anything in column number 2 goes on my expense tracker number 2. And again, the dates for expense tracker number 1 is January 1st through January 15th. And then for expense tracker number 2, it is January 16th through January 31st. It is 31 days. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, how I knew where to put the bills is basically on my monthly calendar. I have all of these written down on my monthly calendar, and anything from the 1st through the 15th is designated with a black asterisk sticker, and then anything from the 16th through the 31st is designated with a blue asterisk sticker, and that basically tells me that the black is expense tracker number 1 and the blue is expense tracker number 2. So that's how I knew where to write like which column to write the expense in. And on this monthly calendar is only things that are date specific. So I don't have childcare, which is why I left it blank, just to explain to you guys, if you're new, that childcare, like weekly expenses or things like my cash envelopes or sinking funds, where they're not date specific, they don't go on this calendar. So if I had an event, you know, that's date specific, then I will put it on the monthly calendar so I know to have the money for that event by that date. So that's how I go about that. But childcare, let me backtrack just a little bit. Childcare is due every Friday, but we pay with our credit cards. So we have the power to decide when to pay for the childcare, even though we're being charged for it every Friday. So I pay off our credit card basically every week or so, and yeah, so I have flexibility on when I want to pay it. So I'm going to split the childcare between the two expense trackers, so $570 between the two, if I'm not mistaken, because y'all already know my mental math be tripping sometimes. So let's just double check. $570. Okay, so I split it between the two expense trackers. So that is that. And I haven't split up the income just yet because I need to know basically if I need to move around some expense trackers, some expenses before I figure out how much money to put towards our expense tracker number 1 and expense tracker number 2, because we are 1 month ahead on our bills as well. So we do have flexibility over how much to put towards the first half of the month and then how much to put towards the second half of the month. So yeah, so but these business expenses are date specific, so I'm going to go ahead and figure out, well, actually I'm going to do that last, so scratch that. The cash envelopes, we need them every week, so I'm just going to split those in half between the two expense trackers. So 180 and 180 for gas. Groceries, we're doing 80 and 80. I tend to do Walmart grocery pickup every week, so I'll allocate $40 every week, because the minimum for grocery pickup is $35. So for like taxes and all that kind of good stuff, I do $40 a week for groceries, and then $350 for the month for Costco, but again, I'll split it in half. But again, remember what I said, I already went to Costco and just Costco take all your money. Costco and Target, Jesus. But those are my two favorite stores. I love going in there. So Costco, I'm going to split that in half. So that is going to be $175 for between the two expense trackers. And then diapers, I'm just going to put in the first, all of it in the first check, or the first expense tracker, just because again, I already spent that money. So I'm just going to allocate it in the first expense tracker and then just start fresh in the second expense tracker. So car loan is due on like the first half of the month. So it's should go in expense tracker number 1, but let me double check. So where is the car loan? Oh, it's due on the 6th. So that falls into expense tracker number 1. So $256.29 in expense tracker number 1. I don't know where to put, well, actually Kaiser is due on the 18th. So if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Kaiser. So that's going to go in expense tracker number 2, 126. And then the sinking funds, since that is money that is remaining from the entire month, I don't know if the full 2765 is going to come out of the first expense tracker or the second, or is it going to be split somehow, some way between the two? So I'm going to leave the sinking funds until the very end. And then as for like the rest of these sinking funds, I'm going to figure out how much money we have first after all of the bills come out of our income. And then that is when I'm going to split up these like sinking funds and then like the other stuff that is more flexible on when we can pay for them. Okay, so with that said, we're going to move on to the daycare fee. The daycare fee, I'm not exactly sure when they are going to charge us for it. But I'm going to try and put it in expense tracker number 1, just so I have the money just in case they charge us in the next couple of days. The baby shower is, it's a sinking fund for the most part. Oh, I should put that in sinking fund, huh? I'll do that next month. But yeah, it is a sinking fund. So, well, it's actually a planned expense. I'm just treating it, I'm like breaking it up as a sinking fund. It doesn't matter. You can put it where you want. So I'm gonna keep it in the planned expenses because yeah, it's already like that on my annual budget spreadsheet. So anyways, that's not date specific. So I'm gonna hold off on putting that in either column. And then iCloud and all my business expenses. Let's see, iCloud is in expense tracker number 1. So is Adobe Cloud. And then Epidemic Sound is in expense tracker number 2. So 15 there, 19.99 there, and 9.99 there. And then planner expenses or planner supplies, I actually want to have that in the first half of the month as much as possible, because I know for sure that Simply Gilded said that she's going to come out with her release sometime like mid-January. So I want to have that money up front so I can go ahead and get the things that I want to pick up. But then again, I do have a lot of Valentine's stuff that I've bought previously, but I'm looking for a Valentine's Day album from her. And I think she says she's going to have some albums, but I'm also looking at Cookie Sticker Co. because the album in her advent box, first of all, pause really quick. If you're not a planner person, just double tap on that like 10-second skip really quick. Cookie Sticker Co. advent box. I'm mad at all you hoes that got it because y'all not hoes. I'm a hoe because damn it, I completely missed out. Man, I don't do sub boxes and advent boxes, but that's the one advent box that I fully regret not picking up because damn near everything in there I could have used and I really liked, including that album. That album was fire and would have been the perfect album for Valentine's Day. I'm still sore that I missed out on that advent box. We gonna move on. But let's get back to it. What was I saying? Oh, so planner supplies will figure out where, like, how much money we have in each expense tracker before we start assigning stuff. So let's go ahead and figure out how much is, like, how much our expenses are for expense tracker 1 and 2 so far. So let me actually grab a sticky note so I can keep track of it. Did I grab 2? No. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and add it up real quick. And all I'm doing is just going down each column and adding everything up so far. All right. So I'm going to make a quick adjustment and basically put all of the Costco into expense tracker number 1, because like I said, I already spent that money and part of the grocery money as well. So that way, when I go to fill out expense tracker number 2, I won't have a Costco line. So which would tell me that I'm already tapped out for the month for Costco. Okay, so for expense tracker number 1, we are at $3,779.88. And then expense tracker number 2, we are at $1,632.45. So basically everything that has not been budgeted for is going to go into expense tracker number 2, which is fine. So let me go ahead and write in the remaining items that I said I was thinking about splitting or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and write it in column number 2. Okay, so I went ahead and assigned everything that needed to be put into a column. I put it in column number 2 so that it will go on expense tracker number 2. And then I went ahead and totaled up each column in each section so that I would have the column total in each section. So now what I'm going to do is add up, again, I'm going to add up the first column and the second column so that I have the totals, and then that way I can know how much to assign, like how much income to assign to each column. So yeah, which will basically tell me how much I need to have in our account for that expense tracker. Because even though we are 1 month ahead, I still like to look at bills and pay bills and things like, well, not so much bills, because with Q money, all we have to do is just fund that queue, and then the money will come out when it's due, kind of like bill pay. So for the most part, I like to do our cash envelope, sinking funds, planned expenses, those type of things, our variable expenses. I like to do those every 2 weeks. So yeah, so bills are paid like whenever they're due monthly, but variable expenses I handle manually every 2 weeks. So yeah, I need to know how much money to have in our account for the variable expenses. I cannot talk. Per expense tracker. So let me go ahead and add up the 2 columns, and then woo, that was loud. I need another sticky note. So I can keep up with these totals, these new totals. Well, expense tracker number 1 should be the same because I did not add anything to expense tracker number 1. So let me go ahead and just do column number 2. And then I'll add the 2 together to make sure that I equal 5,600, which is the total income for the month. So hopefully that'll save us some time. Oh, I was just about to say, where did I go wrong? But the total is correct because it's 5,600 for our like our take-home pay, and then it's $144.98 for business expenses. So that is actually correct. So expense tracker number 1 needs 3,779 spot, or 3,779 spot 88. Okay, so now that I know, the income amounts that I need, I can go ahead and write that in. So for our income, it's going to be 3,779 spot 88 minus this 29.98, because this business expense is included in that number. So let me just, it's 3, my mental math is not, already fucking up. 3,750. So nope, that is not it. We're just gonna do it on the calculator. It's all right, sis. 29.98. 3,749.90, and then 115 out of this expense amount right here. Go ahead and throw that away. Let's see. Okay, 1,850 spot 10. We'll go ahead and write the total amounts down here. So 3,779 spot 88 total for expense tracker number 1, and then 1,965.10 for expense tracker number 2. And then those two amounts together will give me my total income of 5,744 spot 98. All right, so now we can start wrapping up this weekly breakdown by basically taking the income amount for each column and getting the remaining, so that I can like have these 2 pages, my weekly breakdown portion of these pages, I can have those completed. So let's do a column by column. So total income for expense tracker number 1 is 3,779 spot 88 minus the monthly expenses of 2,743 spot 61 is remaining 1,036 spot 27. So next we're gonna subtract $650 for cash envelopes, and that leaves us with 386 spot 27. And we're gonna subtract 256 spot 29 for debt. That leaves us with 129 spot 98, and then nothing for the sinking funds in expense tracker number 1. So we're just going to carry down that remaining amount. So 129.98 is still remaining. I'm just going to put dash in the total just so I can have something there. So it's a note to myself that I didn't miss that spot, that I did actually see it. I just intentionally left it blank. So remaining is from the sinking funds is 129.98, and then subtract 129.98 for the planned expenses and my business expenses. So that's going to leave us with a 0 amount, which is what I want, because I am doing a zero-based budget for expense tracker number 1 and 2 as well. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for expense tracker number 2. So 1,965 spot 10 minus 1,231 spot 45 is 733 spot 65, and then subtract 260 for cash envelopes is 473 spot 65, and then subtract 126 for debt. It's 347 spot 65 for the debt, and then for sinking funds subtract 207.65, and that leaves us with 140. So we're going to transfer over that 140 to this top line in planned expenses so we don't lose track of what we have remaining. And then for planned expenses for expense tracker number 2, the total is 140 as well. So 140 minus 140, we are left with 0. So 0 base budget for expense tracker number 1 and 2, which is exactly what I wanted. So now we are done with the weekly breakdown portion of this video. The weekly breakdown portion is the most time consuming because you're basically figuring out what you're going to pay when in the month, like for the entire month. So if you have trouble figuring that out, the drill down budget planner that I made and going to make available to you guys once I set up my Shopify site, because Etsy kicked me off, the trifling heifers. Once I make this available, if you like the weekly breakdown or think it will help you to figure out when to pay your bills, not like beyond the bills that are due for the month, like I just did, then I think the drill down budget will be good for you. So yeah, I will keep you guys posted on when it's going to become available. So follow me on Instagram if you want to see the journey of me like going to make get these planners made, because I am going to do printed versions and I am going to make pieces of this planner available, like in addition to other templates. I'm going to make them available on my Shopify site as well, like I had on Etsy. But again, Etsy for some reason kicked me off. Why? You're making my life difficult. This would have been like an easy peasy process, and all I would have had to do was just get the budget planners printed for you guys. But no, Etsy gotta go and ruin everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is expense tracker number 1 setup. So for the most part, I'm not really going to trip on this expense tracker, like trying to make the numbers match on camera right now and like going through my expenses and things like that to see what exactly I paid so far, because like I said, it's already halfway through this this time period that this expense tracker is for. So it is already the 9th, and this tracker goes from the 1st through the 15th. So I'm not going to really, be too anal about it on camera. I'll figure it out in the wash at the end of the month and like calculate when I do like this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when I do my month-end review and I break down my expenses by category, so like Costco, groceries, monthly expenses, things like that, when I categorize each expense on this page, that's when I'll go back and I'll figure out what all happened for this 1st through the 15th. But for right now on camera, because this video is already long, I'm just gonna push through and keep going and just set up expense tracker number 1 so I can make sure all the bills are paid, and then I'm gonna start fresh for like sinking funds and all that for expense tracker number 2. So for right now, let's just go ahead and do expense tracker number 1, which I'm just gonna write down is 1/1 through 1/15 right here in the next to the expenses, so I can make sure that I'm on, the correct expense tracker. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to flip back to the monthly budget with the weekly breakdown and make sure that everything that's in column number 1 is on this expense tracker, because that is what I'm budgeting for. Anything not like in this column number 1 that I like when I go back and review, anything that I spent money on from this during this time period, that's not right here on this page is going to go on my unbudgeted section right here. So that is what this section is for. And I did make a minor tweak to the headers. So instead of having the same headers as like what I had over here for expenses for originally I had budgeted, actual, and then plus or minus right here in the unbudgeted section. When I was using it previously, it just didn't really give me what I needed as far as like the unbudgeted, because for example, this first column said budgeted. Well, this is my unbudgeted section. So of course, anything that I spend money on for the most part is going to be unbudgeted. So I'm typically not going to have any money to begin with because it's an unbudgeted expense. If I had money for it, I would have put it on this side and spent the budgeted money for it, if that makes sense. So I changed the headers to be cash on hand, spent, and actual. So cash on hand is like, sometimes you know how like with your sinking funds or your cash envelopes, like you'll have, like say for food, you'll have like $15 left, and then you'll go out to eat and you end up spending $17. Well, the cash you had on hand was $15, but you actually spent $17, which would go in this column. So that means actually the money that you use from this expense tracker or this paycheck is just $2 because you were short $2 to go and get you something to eat. So that is my logic on changing the headers, because again, if you had the money, you would have like used it and budgeted for it, and it would be for the most part on this side. So that's why I updated it. So another example, so say like if you had $15 still and then you spent $13, well, it wouldn't go right here because you didn't go over budget and you didn't have to use any money from this paycheck in order to cover that unbudgeted expense, if that makes sense. So only money that came out of this income that was not budgeted for over here will be in this unbudgeted section, if that makes any sense, because I'm not really trying to give you guys space to track all of your cash envelope and sinking fund spending, because I'm trying to keep all of us, whoever uses this planner, I'm trying to get it so that we change our habits so that we're not spending money on unbudgeted items. So for the most part, I want this section to be blank, but have space just in case, because you know we're not perfect, and you know life is supposed to be lived. So if something comes up that you want to spend your money on, and you just gonna spend a little bit of coin out of this paycheck, I mean, live your life, sis. We not pocket checking over here. You do what you do. Just don't go and spend your rent money on something other than your rent. So yeah. Okay. So, like I was saying, I'm going to go down column number 1 and make sure that all of these items that are in column number 1 are also on this expense tracker. So let me first, you guys are going to get a sneak peek at my, that was my vision board. I need to trim it out and put it in my planner. But yeah, I'll have a video up about that later on. So don't worry, you'll see it again. So, okay, the mortgage is $1,864.66. Vivint is $56.47. Natural gas is $110. Life insurance for me is $57.64. Frontier is $67.86. And just in case anyone is wondering, I already wrote these expenses using the monthly calendar. So that's why I have to double check that everything in column number 1 is written on here, because not everything like cash envelopes, sinking funds is on this monthly calendar. It's just things that like are date specific. So yeah. Netflix is $13.99. Childcare is $5.70. Amazon Kids Plus is $2.99. And then gas is going to be $1.80. Groceries is going to be $80. Costco is going to be $3.50. $150. And then car loan is $256.29. And then iCloud is $9.99. And then Adobe Cloud is $19.99. I feel like I skipped some stuff. Car loan, and then I skipped the daycare fee. So the daycare fee needs to be added. Daycare fee of $100. So anything else? No, I'm good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is flip back to this portion and then do the income really quick. And the income is just straight from out of this column. So $374,990, $374,990 for our expected take-home pay, and then business expenses are going to be $29.98 is the income that I'm going to need, for a total of $3,779.88. Okay, so that, and then I'm going to go ahead and add up all of the budgeted expenses, and I'm expecting the expense total to equal the income total so that we will have a zero-based budget for expense tracker number 1. But let's go ahead and add it up really quick. Oh, so my total came out to $3,739.88, which means that I'm short 40, and I know exactly what it is. I forgot to write diapers from cash envelopes. So let's do that. Diapers, and that's 40. So add that $40 to that total, and it gives me expense total of $3,779.88. And so our estimated income matches our budgeted expenses. So I have a zero-based budget for expense tracker number 1. So let me go ahead and do the same thing for expense tracker number 2. So let's go ahead and write in the income for expense tracker number 2. $1,850.10, and then 115 for a total of $1,965.10. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the expenses from out of column number 2. Okay, so water and trash is $130, electric is $15, life insurance is $71.55, MetLife is $309, Verizon is $123, ID theft is $12.90, child care is $5.70, and then gas is $180, groceries is $80. I'm going to remove Costco because I wrote this off camera before I started recording, so allocating all of the Costco money to expense tracker number 1 was a impromptu decision. So yeah, so now I need to put Kaiser 126, and then I'm gonna start adding in all of the stuff that I need to put on here that's on the weekly breakdown but not on expense tracker number 2. So let's see, clothing is getting 100, Friendsmas is getting 30, Christmas is getting 50, and then sinking funds, I like to put sinking funds as the very last line. I don't know why, no particular reason, but yeah, baby shower 25, epidemic sound is 15, planner supplies this. I'm just hoping that basically things don't sell out from any of the shops until I put this money to the side. But we'll see. If it does, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Especially for Simply Gilded, because I can buy it for a little bit more of a premium in a buy sell trade group if I really need it. But for the most part, I'm not really tripping. So going back, adding that sinking funds, which is the remaining money left over from the entire monthly budget. Oh, I had already wrote epidemic sound up here. Crap. I hate having gaps. Okay, so this is what we gonna do. Even though I just specifically wrote the sinking funds as the last line, I don't want to be too anal about it. So sinking funds, it's gonna go in that line, and it's $27.65. I'm gonna erase this one down here. All right, so that should be everything from column number 2. So let me go ahead and pop this back in. I'm gonna go ahead and add up the budgeted expenses, and hopefully if everything is correct, it should match the estimated income. Okay, so the estimated income is $1,965.10, which, sorry, I don't know what I just said, but whatever it was supposed to be, the budgeted expenses matches the estimated income of $1,965.10, which means I have a zero-based budget for expense tracker number 2. Alrighty, so, okay, so we are done with the with the paper portion of the budget planner. So now the next thing that I do is basically fund all of my Qs, because I use Q money as my cash envelopes and sinking funds. Kind of like account. So as well as my bill paying account now. So I do everything out of Q money now. Okay guys, so it's a couple days later. I've been trying to get this video done for quite a bit now. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video by going ahead and stuffing my digital cash envelopes via Q money. So I have my phone right here. I will be putting up like my screen recording of what I'm doing, so you guys can just follow along. So let's get started. Who knows when the twins gonna wake up. So okay, so I have my planner in front of me. You guys can no longer see it, but I went ahead and marked off every bill that I already like funded in my Q money. So you can see right here, this is my bills page. And everything on the right under balance, anything that has money in it, I'm not going to worry about it, because that means that the bill is funded. So all I have to do is wait for the company to charge me and take the money out. So the ones with the balance 0, as long as the date under it says February, then I'm okay, because that means that the January bill was already paid and the next upcoming one is in February. So I'm just going to quickly scan to make sure that everything for January has money in it, like all of the bills for January. So the mortgage has been paid, Vivint has been paid, my health insurance has been paid, our car loan has been paid, and then Frontier, let's see, January 11th. It looks like it took it out and then I put money in there. So probably tomorrow, or actually, I think I'm okay to go ahead and just, yeah, take that money back out. because I thought probably when I looked at it, they had just taken the money out, but I thought the money hadn't come out yet. So that's probably what happened there. If not, I'll just put the money right back. So it doesn't really matter. So move that money out of there. So, okay, Frontier, natural gas. That is the actual amount that's due because I checked it. Verizon, water and trash. Water and trash is a little bit higher this month, which I'm expecting just because now that we have the twins, you know, their umbilical cord and stuff in the healed, so we're giving them baths. So of course that's going to increase our water bill, like our average water bill. So that's fine. MetLife, and then electric is going to be like $8 and some change. So everything is funded for my bills, and I just have to wait for them to come out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a cube, like a couple of cubes for things that I need. So I'm gonna create a cube for planner supplies. No, I'm gonna just do it for Randy4short, which is my YouTube business. And basically planner supplies. So everything planner supplies related is like a write-off for this channel. So I just spend that money out of my business account. But since YouTube is not like bringing in any income and it can't like support this channel and like my spending habits for planner supplies just yet, like I'm still having to use our personal money to, you know, buy the planner supplies that I want and of course show you guys. So eventually once YouTube starts bringing in money, I mean, I get my second YouTube paycheck this month and I've been on YouTube for 3 years. So let that be a lesson to anybody that's aspiring to start a YouTube channel. If you're doing it for the money, that's not a strong enough reason, because like I said, I've been on YouTube for 3 years now and I'm just now getting my second check and it's only like $110. So you know, just because you make a channel does not mean it's going to blow up quickly. And it doesn't mean, I mean, it doesn't mean that it won't, but just 9 times out of 10 that it probably will just grow over time and not as fast as you think it will, especially being in the planner community. So, but it happens. It definitely happens. So, just don't be disappointed if it takes you a while is all I'm saying. So planner supplies. Let's see. We're gonna designate it by this book, and the color we're gonna put it as this purple. Monthly budget is, we'll do like 150. This monthly budget is not necessary, but it does like give you a visual. If you set the monthly budget, as you spend money from the cube, it'll give you like a visual of how you're doing, and I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, so I am going to fund this cube now because what I want to do is fund as many of the cubes as possible, except for my gas, groceries, and Costco. I want to keep those ones, like I want to fund those every 2 weeks just so I can make sure that we're not going over for the 2 weeks, because if I put all of the money in for the month, then I'm gonna be like balling out of control and just probably spend that money right when it touches the account. So just to keep me accountable and not spend all of our grocery money in like one trip, I'm gonna do the gas, groceries, and Costco every 2 weeks. So this is a start to finish video, but I'm probably gonna do like a mid-month check-in just to update you guys on the budget and like to fund my cubes, my variable cubes for those 2 weeks in like the middle of the month, but not this month because yeah, we already damn near the middle of the month now. So I'm going to take the money out of my sinking funds and I'm going to put, I think just 100. No, I want to fund my planner supplies and the bills for my channel. So Epidemic Sound, iCloud, and Adobe Cloud, which all comes to gonna be $144.98 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I'm gonna just fund this cube with all of the money that I need this month for my business. And that way I'm going to transfer that money from out of this cube into my business account. So that way I have like clean records and clean books for business. So we're going to do that. So let me go ahead and mark that off on my budget planner that I transferred that. $9.99, $19.99, and then Epidemic Sound and planner supplies. Okay. Alrighty. So the next one I need to transfer money because you see my cloud account is, I can't do it from here. I was going to go to the funding since I have to do several accounts, but the funding page pulls from the cloud account. So I would have to know exactly how much all of these cubes need in order to transfer it from my cloud account. And yeah, I don't want to do that just yet, just because my cloud account is negative and I'm waiting on a transfer to come in to like balance out my cloud account and whatever. So yeah. All right. So we're just going to have to do it the long way for right now. Okay, so I was on the phone, so I hope you guys have fun staring at my postpartum hair loss. So like it's hitting you, girl. Like I already have thin edges just because I have fine, like my hair texture is fine, but can y'all see it? Look, this one is especially bad. Like I have a whole bald spot right there. And it just, my edges is not making it any better. This one, like, I don't know, like I definitely have a bald spot, but you know, it doesn't look as bad as this side. I don't know why. Like this one looks like it goes deeper, and you can especially see it like that. Like this one is way more prominent. But yeah, that, you know, it happened with my firstborn as well, so I'm not really too worried about it. I'm definitely not trying to like cover it up and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, I'm on maternity leave. She does not care. So y'all getting the raw. If I was at work, I would try to like, you know, do something with it and swoop it a little bit to cover it up a little bit. I know they have like powders and stuff that you could probably put on there, but I mean, these are my battle scars, okay? I birthed twins. Even if it wasn't twins, I birthed, okay? We do not care. We made it out alive. That is what matters the most. So let's see, gas. Gas. All right, so I just transferred everything that I needed for expense tracker number 1. So I'm gonna just really quick go and look over to expense tracker number 2 and fund everything except gas, groceries, and we're not doing Costco for expense tracker number 2. So just gas and groceries. Everything else is going to be funded. So let's do clothing. So we're going to do clothing, childcare, friends miss Christmas, and baby shower. Okay, so I don't have a fund called friends miss Christmas or baby shower. So I'm going to look and see what cubes I can use. Like I can easily create them, but I'd rather just keep everything together Let's see. I think Friendsmas and Christmas I'm definitely going to put together. And then baby shower, I'm going to create my cube called Gifts, Friends, and Family. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a spending cube called Gifts. F&F, which stands for Friends and Family. And I'm actually going to put the Friendsmas sinking fund that we're saving up for the Friendsmas in December, of course. And then the baby shower is going to be probably in June. So I'm going to use a gifts. Let's see. Do they have like a little present? That would be cute. Here we go, right here. And then color, I'm going to put, let's do yellow. Ooh. Monthly budget is $0. And we're gonna fund this cube with the $25 for the baby shower and the $30 for Friendsmas. So that's gonna be $55 total. Okay, so that is the baby shower and Friendsmas. And then I'm going to create a separate one called Christmas, and that one is just going to be Christmas for the family. So that's how I'm like differentiating between the two. And then gifts for the family goes in that fun birthday / anniversary cube that you saw. So do they have like a tree? Oh, we got a snowflake. Well, oh, they got a tree. I like that one. And we'll do that. Green, no monthly budget. Fund this cube now with $50 from sinking funds. And if you're wondering why I'm taking all of the money from sinking funds, because when the money comes in, I just put it directly into sinking funds, just because I haven't had time to be in my budget planner. Like, I'm literally just now getting back into my budget planner for the month of January. So November and December, I was really not in my budget planner. I was just spending money and paying bills. So I'm just now getting back on track, which is perfectly fine. I'm having to reset my sinking funds and just, you know, for the new year, and just reevaluate our goals based on what we want to accomplish for 2020. And I will be sharing like my vision board in 2022. What did I say? 2020? 2022 goals for this year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. $50. So $50 for that. So the only thing I have left is gas, groceries, and then sinking funds of $27.65, which I'm not going to move right now. I'm just going to keep it in sinking funds and just know that if we need it, we have like $27 to work with. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this like more updated version of me doing my budget planner, because what I'm trying to do, if you like been skipping around this video, is basically combine all of my budget videos into like a longer video, so that I'm spending less time editing and making budgeting videos, because usually this video would be like 3 separate videos. So I'm condensing it down into one video so that I'm budgeting from start to finish. So anybody that is new to budgeting, I mean, really all it takes, like once you figure out how much you want to put towards monthly bills and stuff like that, to sit down and create a budget really only takes like an hour, even less if well, it takes me 2 hours, because I spend an hour decorating my planner just because that's my thing. And then another hour to just like mostly figure out when to pay what bill. And that comes in the form of my weekly breakdown from earlier in this video. So once you have that down, it's really just taking the expenses from column number 1, which goes towards expense tracker number 1, and then taking column number 2 and then putting it on expense tracker number 2, and then just basically going about your life and making sure that you're checking off, and you're checking off the bills that have been paid, and you're checking your bank account frequently. I like to check mine every day, but you know, you do you. You just making sure that you are staying under budget by not spending more than the amount that you put on your budget planner. Like, your budget is a plan, and if you don't intend to stick to that plan, then why are you making a budget? So that's kind of like, it goes hand in hand. You have to have the discipline in order for your budget to work and for you not to go over budget. So and this like planner template that I created, I think it just helps to make things easier to stick to a budget, know where you are in the month and everything like that. So, and then with the budget planner plus Q Money, for me, it just makes it like seamless. Since I have a spouse, cash envelopes just doesn't work. Whereas Q Money, I'm allowed to have like a spouse account because I do have the family account, but that's the highest level of accounts and like subscription that they have. But there is one where it's like a premium account, which is just below it, where it will allow you to have a +1 on your account. So I didn't get that one because of course I want my kids to use it in the future. So of course the family account makes sense for me, and I will be starting my kids very early on like on commissions, aka allowances. So yeah, that's why I got the family account. But yeah, so let me know how you guys like this longer video. Are you here for it? Do you want shorter videos like I was doing before? If I do more videos, that means I can give you less types of content, which is my goal for 2022, is to bring you more types of content, to like grocery hauls. I want to do the capsule wardrobe thing because I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I want to create a template that I could share with you guys on how I create my capsule wardrobe, because it definitely works for me. And I really love clothes, so with the capsule wardrobe, I don't really get bored. I'm not saying I'm a minimalist by any means, but the capsule wardrobe, it allows me to shop for what I want, but it doesn't get my closet out of control, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'll share more in the future, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.